What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Liam here, and I've decided to bring you guys a quick tutorial on unit control in StarCraft 2. So this video will be focusing on all about unit control. And as many of you may have seen, I have done a video in the past about Terran Mech, whether or not it's OP. So this is kind of a demonstration that goes along with that video. But the only reason I'm doing this, like I said, is just for a quick tutorial, just to give you guys an idea out there how to kind of play the game. So with that being said, I guess we'll get started here. Oh, and just really quick, guys, I'm using the program I'm using. It's actually a map you can download. It's called Unit Testers. So I'll probably post a link for that for you guys so you can play around with it if you want. But anyways, for my first demonstration here with unit control, I will be using 8 Speedlings and just 2 Ultralisks versus 5 Siege Tanks and 2 Thors. And for those of you that play the game quite a bit, I'm pretty sure you know how this matchup is going to pan out. So with that being said, let's get rolling here with the first match and see what will happen with 5 Siege Tanks, 2 Thors versus 8 Lings and 2 Ultras. Here we go. And check that out. As expected, not a single unit went down in the Terran Mech army. And at this point, people would probably be like, oh, GG, Terran Mech is OP if they're playing against me, blah, blah, blah. But as I promised you guys, this is a tutorial demonstrating unit control. So let's try that again using a different scenario. And a different scenario meaning let's try out a drop and see how that works. So one thing I do like to do is keep my Terran Mech all balled up. That's a very powerful way to utilize them. So let's get these loaded up and see how differently this attack will pan out just by doing a drop. And just really quick before I get started here, I know there's going to be a ton of people being like, oh, well, what if there was this, or what if there's that, or what if you had a bunch of Marines here, what if you had this fortified with 1,000,000 turrets, blah, blah, blah. That's not really the point I'm trying to demonstrate here, and I can go all day about how to counter this, how to counter that, but overall I just want to get the point across of how much of a difference unit control can make in different attacking situations. So, I mean, you can reinforce this with several other Speedlings, blah, 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 to help you out, but let's see how much of a difference just loading these units up in dropships versus this composition is going to make. So, let's get started here and see how it turns out. As you can see, as I said before, these Thors do not do a good job at all at taking these out. So, and wow, would you look at that? The Terran Mech army is destroyed just adding 3 dropships as compared to just running it straight into them. So, like I said, guys, I'm just trying to demonstrate ideas on how you can, go about attacking something. And ways you can view things differently. So just try and keep an open mind when you're playing the game. And the next example I'm going to move on to will be with Protoss, Immortals versus Siege Tanks. Alright guys, so in this next example I will be demonstrating here, we're going to be using 10 Siege Tanks. And something I forgot to mention in that last video, I didn't say it, but if you were to look, when I click on the units, no upgrades are being utilized here. So as you can see here, no upgrades for any of these units. But really quick, 10 Siege Tanks against 5 Immortals. So once again, this is a pure demonstration on unit control and how much of a difference unit control can make on the outcome of a battle in StarCraft 2. So really quick, yeah, you could be like, oh, well, what if the Terran player had EMP, blah, blah, blah. Then these Immortals will be useless. But that's not the point I'm trying to utilize here, guys. I'm just trying to show you unit control and focus on that and how much of a difference it can make. So there's a counter to every situation, and I obviously don't have time to go over absolutely everything, but let's get started here with 10 Siege Tanks versus 5 Immortals and see how it will pan out. Alright, and the first battle is over, and would you take a look at this? We have 6 siege tanks left over versus 5 immortals. And I'm actually kind of shocked here that the siege tanks did such a great job of taking out the immortals, because as a Terran player, I absolutely hate just going pure mech against Protoss, because, you know, unless you get off some good EMPs or whatever, then Terran mech is pretty useless. But let's take a look at how that could be handled a little differently. And how I want to demonstrate unit control is one thing you want to make sure you're doing against a mass siege tank force is people think that siege tanks are very powerful, and yes they are, but people tend to forget about splash damage and how much of a difference the splash damage actually makes. So I'm not sure if my micro will end up being the best here with these immortals, but let's just take a look at how much of a difference. Just remember, there were 6 siege tanks left over there. 6 siege tanks. Let's see how much of a difference it makes if we maybe spread these out a little bit and use some micro dealing with this battle. So let's go at it and see what happens here. And notice how I'm keeping the immortals pretty spread out here, so it reduces the splash damage. And I mean, like I said, my micro wasn't the best there. Could have been better, but I mean, look at that. If you were to keep these immortals grouped up with the splash damage, 10 siege tanks would have easily had annihilated these immortals. But just by spreading them out a little bit with some, you know, pretty crappy micro is how I look at it. I don't play Protoss that much. I don't got the feel for the immortal very well, but as you can see, just keep them spread out a little bit, how much of a difference it actually made. So, you know, I just wanted to, you know, make this video real quick, just kind of, you know, remind you guys just to keep an open mind, you know, and you know, try different things out. Don't just always throw your army into Terran mech and then get them killed and then, you know, be like, oh, Terran mech's OP and then leave. So I guess that's it, guys. If there's anything else you would like me to demonstrate or upload or anything else you'd like me to talk about, go ahead and leave a comment below and let me know what you think. I hope that you guys enjoy this, and I hope that this opened your mind up and helped you out a little bit. Take care.